أنا الآن في بيتنا في شارع القدس وأستمع إلى البي بي سي الفضائي الأوروبي.
This week. Now it is a fitting location as our correspondent Jonathan Head reports. The Turkish economy certainly experienced a severe contraction, but is now set to expand again, thanks in large part to globalization. The machines are still whirring here in the workshop of one of Turkey's oldest clothing companies, but it's been the toughest year they can remember. Textiles have been one of this country's great manufacturing successes. Clothing made here goes to some of the world's best-known brands like Gap and Burberry. But for the first time in his life, Sergei Gursoy, son of the company's founder, has had to lay off workers.
We have difficult times for the next 2-3 years, but I don't think it will be worse than this year. So it will be more or less like this year, the next 2 years.
We reached the bottom now.
Yes, we reached the bottom.
Until now, the main challenge to clothing factories in Turkey and in any other country has been the ferocious competition from China. Here at the Textiles, they've risen to that challenge by moving up market, offering niche products and a faster turnover. But even this 73-year-old company has no answer to the savage fall in global demand experienced this year. Other companies have simply thrown in the towel. This factory made bathroom products for the American market, but the owner owes 5 months' rent. He's given up the business. Turkey had its banking crisis 8 years ago, so today the banks are pretty healthy, but they're not lending, and nor are other potential investors.
The banking system put on brakes, the consumers put on brakes, and the investors also put on brakes. Well, the consumers seem a bit more relaxed when we say the second quarter month, but the investors are still somewhat paranoid.
There's not much movement down at Mehmet's tea shop either. It's a favoured spot for men in this traditional neighbourhood with a bit of time on their hands. But the lack of liquidity in people's pockets is hurting Mehmet's business. Customers can't afford to pay these days, he says, not even for 1 or 2 cups. Many of them owe me money, and some can't pay their rent. So until things pick up, they're making that leisurely afternoon cup of tea last just that bit longer. Jonathan Head, BBC News, Istanbul.
Okay, let's move on because the unemployment rate across the 16 countries that use the euro has risen again as the effects, of course, of the recession continue to be felt. August's seasonally adjusted rate rose 9.6%. That's compared with 9.5% in the previous month. That's according to these official figures. The number of people without a job in the Eurozone is now 15.2 million. Despite the fact that many Eurozone economies are recovering from recession, economists expect unemployment rates to continue rising. Now, talking of jobs numbers, we're just hearing hot off the press, in fact, that first-time claims for jobless benefits rose more than expected last week. This is in the United States. A sign, of course, employers are reluctant to hire in the job market over there. It remains weak. Now, according to the Labour Department, unemployment insurance rose to a seasonally adjusted 551,000, up from 534,000. The expectation was just for an increase of 5,000. So we can see that we've got, 17,000 increase. So certainly more than expected. Of course, this increase comes off the back of 3 weeks of decline, so still certainly tough times. But as we know, as we continue to say, unemployment is a lagging indicator. So even as we start to see growth in these economies all around the world, that unfortunately we will see jobless numbers increase. Okay. Well, a study of the global state of broadband has put the UK 25th out of 66 countries in terms of the quality of its network. Now, the research for Cisco found that South Korea and Japan continue to dominate the league table, largely due to their commitment to fast networks. Well, the BBC's technology correspondent, Rory Heflin-Jones, now reports.
Broadband is advancing everywhere and is getting faster. That's the conclusion of this report, which examines 24 million speed records from 66 countries. In South Korea, where the government has made it a policy to give its citizens fast connections, 97% of households have broadband, and they're getting it at breakneck speeds, which make it easy to watch high-definition video or play online games. So, in the broadband league table, South Korea is at the top, closely followed by last year's leader Japan, Hong Kong and Sweden. But with Lithuania at 14 and Estonia at 19, Eastern European countries are moving up the league, while the United Kingdom is back in 25th place. The researchers say that new technology in the form of fibre optic cable networks is the key to the next generation of broadband. That means expensive investment, but the report's authors say countries will reap clear benefits.
Broadband has a clear impact on socioeconomic factors, so countries that invest in broadband increase the competitiveness. They are more innovative economies. You have to make a decision as a country. Do you want to compete on innovation, on a knowledge economy, or do you want to be an efficient-driven type of economy?
African countries arrive at the bottom of this league table, but they too are now rushing to invest in faster broadband connections. And here's the paradox. With their existing telecoms networks in a poor state, they could be better placed than wealthier countries to lead straight into the fast broadband era. Rory Jones, BBC News.
Let's move on because the Bank of America, the league and chief executive there, of course.